if you are going to apply this one principle, I'm going to guarantee you that this year is not going to be the same for you. This one principle, if you apply it to the dot, this year is not going to be the same for you. Actually, you are going to see results as soon as you start applying this principle, because I've been using this principle in my own business and it has been working and it has seen a lot of growth, right? Within actually 11 months, we have had more than 350,000 followers. If you check our Facebook page, has more than 220,000 followers, and our TikTok page has more than 138,000 followers. In Zimbabwe, for some reason, yeah. But then I thought if you are going to apply this thing, it's going to work because it's a principle. If you're in Nigeria, Zambia, wherever you are, this thing is going to work. So what you're supposed to be doing is just to be listening and taking notes, because I'm going to be sharing this with you for free. But I share this information with my clients in Zimbabwe and it has really, really worked. So without wasting much of your time, let's just hop into it. So the principle is, whenever you want to start a business, make sure that you know what a customer avatar is, right? So I love the thing about customer avatar. Yeah, some people will say it's a target market, right? Know what your target market is. And I'll share with you why I don't like the second one, right? The second one, the target market, it's more of a generic word. Know who your target market is. It's like know who the people that we want to serve, right? But then when you are going to use the customer avatar, which I'm going to be using most of the time, right? You're going to realize that if you go on Meta and they talk about an avatar, it's more of something that is similar to you, right? If they say create your own avatar, it's like creating something that is similar to you, right? So why do you need a customer avatar? A customer avatar is creating something that represents your customer. That is something that represents your customer. If your customer is a human being, then you have to have some form of a picture that duplicates who that human being is, right? Maybe there's some level of, a certain haircut. Maybe they have some, dreamy whatsoever haircut on them. Maybe they like to wear formal, right? Maybe that's like a tie. You put a tie there. You say, okay, they like to wear a formal, right? They like to wear some trousers, some suits, whatsoever it is, right? That's one, right? Then maybe for some people it might be a woman, right? You have to go again and you have to have a representation of that customer of yours. So every one business that I've worked with, that guy is into baby wear wholesale, right? And for some reason, that guy had to go into the preparation, right? What is needed on preparation. That's like his baby wear niche, right? Because he's into baby wear, but he said, okay, into this baby wear, what is it that I need to focus on? Then he went on to preparation. And you know what he did? He went on to preparation and he started going on whatever that was needed for preparation, like the wool, right? The maternity wool. That's the maternity wool. Then he had to go on preparation clothes for babies, right? Unborn babies, baby clothes. Because parents, they buy these clothes, right? Then he had to go on maternity night dress, maternity night dress. Then you had to go on maternity pads, right? Maternity pads are like women we have pads when they are going for that period, right? Then almost everything that is needed by a woman when she's preparing for a unborn baby, right? He had to do everything to such an extent that you just know that from this whole setup, his customer avatar is a pregnant woman. Everything that is needed by a pregnant woman, trust me, they will find it in this shop. They will find it in this shop. And you know what? If you go in town, wherever you are, right, you will never meet someone else who has this type of a setup. You never meet someone else because this guy understood the customer avatar. And all the women that are pregnant, right? If you have a friend that you know that she's pregnant, they will always refer each other back to this guy because this guy knows how to save this customer avatar. Anyways, let's put this save word on a very good plate because we are going to come back to this one, right? So I being me, right, I had to work on my own customer avatar. Definitely there are people who follow me who are my competitors. I can't share with you some of those customers out. But then I'll tell you, right, I have a way of doing my own thing. That means that if I'm gonna go there, right, I'm going to have my people saved, right? We have that customer avatar, right? I'll share with you another customer avatar. I had a lady who was doing yeah, right? Yeah. So I said, if your customer avatar is a lady who wants to who wants certain type of weaves, certain types of braids, right? Certain types of wigs, right? Let's go down and say, who is this lady, right? But then for some reason, some people they don't want to go down because then it limits their target market, right? As they say, right? But then you realize that if you just say my customer avatar is going to be women who want to do their hair, who want to do their hair, right? You know what's going to happen? You stock all this and all other hair products or other hair products. But then because the range is now big, right? Some people might never get to this stage. So that's why I then say, know which one you might need to go for, right? Let's say you want all women who want to use like weaves, right? You then say, okay, maybe if I'm going for weaves, let me go with all types of weaves. All types of weaves. And what is needed. What is needed by those weaves. Right. Good. Lovely. Right. So you can apply this thing on almost anything. Cars. Right. Maybe it's a Wonder Fit. Maybe it's a specific type of a car. It's a Wonder Fit. Right. It's a Wonder Fit. Let's say it's a Wonder Fit, whatever the type of car it is, right? You then go deep into this Wonder Fit. Because the type of customer avatar you want to save is someone who has this type of a car, right? But then you say, this is the car that they have. So I will need to save everything around this car, right? That's why I said save, right? Why? Because in as much as yes, you want to understand the customer avatar, you have to that figure in your mind, right? But you need to know what they care about, number one. What they care about, where they spend their money, where they spend their money, right? How much is their budget? How much is their budget, right? When do they spend? When do they spend? How do they spend? How do they spend, right? Which seasons? Which seasons? Which seasons, right? This which seasons is more of the same, like when do they spend, right? And how often, and how often do they spend on this thing, on this thing, right? So if you come here and you say, this is my customer avatar, I need to know how often do they spend on this specific type of thing and when do they spend, right? How much do they have on their budget, right? This is going to determine a lot of things in your business, right? So let's just keep this right there, right? Then we say, okay, if we are going to answer this one, what do they care about, right? Let's say in this case, it's the car, right? They care about their car, which is the Honda Fit, right? Where they spend their money, right? On this car, what are the points where they are going to spend their money on this car, right? Maybe they are the tires. Maybe on this car, specific car, right? You have the men and the women, right? Someone will choose, say, let's say maybe someone will go for the men. When it's the men, you know that maybe it's the rims, if the tires, it's the color, it's the smell of the car and everything else. Like the tint, everything, right? That's for men. Rims, tires, tint, etc. Right? That's for men, right? There are so many accessories that they can put on the car. That's for men, right? If it's for women, right? They also have what they like. We have car seats right here, right? But the women have their own type of car seats, right? And a lot of other things, right? You have to go down and look at what they also care about. One thing that I'm guaranteed is that whatever a man cares about, a woman doesn't really care about, except if she's a tomboy, right? So where do they spend their money on, right? On this specific type of a car, where do they spend their money on? Then you start to go on all those points and say, okay, if they are spending on tires, you should have those tires. If they're spending on rims and types of rims, you should actually have those rims, right? What do they care about? Then you say, okay, they care about the aesthetics of the car. They care about the service. They care about the oil, the everything like that, right? You keep everything in place. How much is their budget, right? How much is their budget usually determines the pricing strategy. Pricing strategy that you're going to use. The pricing strategy that you're going to use when you determine how much is their budget. Because if you have how much is their budget, then you know what to do and how much to price, right? And if their budget is $100, right, for some of these things, it means instead of you buying quality tires, right? Quality tires, right? Quality tires. You buy a tire that if you sell to them, you make a good amount of profit and they leave whilst they are happy, right? They get at least something that is in the mid-range, right? You don't really need to go for the big quality because they will never be able to afford those tires. But then they still care about these tires. So they will still need something that is affordable to them. So you now know what to buy and how much to sell it for, because you have understood how much their budget is. Right. That's why you realize that there is someone who will be selling some dollar tides, right? Women we love tides, right? Some dollar tides, then there's someone who's selling some 50 cents tides, then there's someone who's selling some $5 tides, then someone who's selling some $10 tides, right? This one, we have a specific niche. This is a niche, right? And they have their own niche, they will have their own clients. But then this one with some dollar clients, right? You have a lot of clients, right? Yes, there will be problematic clients there, but you'll be moving volumes because of the matter of budget, right? Because budget is something that is true. If you are going to come up with a product in the marketplace and you don't know how much people are willing to pay for that product, then you're doomed, right? No matter, actually, the poor people don't really care about quality, right? They just need to care about something that they can afford, because it's not up to them whether they are going to have this or that, right? It's up to the pocket, the size of the pocket. That's going to determine, right? You can go and you say, I want to eat a one wagyu beef, right? That costs like, I don't know, 300 whatsoever. But if the pocket is not allowing, you can't. So your decisions are made by the pocket, right? So you need to know how much is their budget and how big is their pocket. If you know how big is their pocket, then you then move on to the next. Then you have, when do they spend, right? When do they spend? Most people, they spend their money after paydays. After paydays. On this other side of the world, right, we have major two paydays, right? All civil servants, or the people that work in the government, they get paid mid-month, right? Then it goes into private companies, right, and small SMEs, right? They get paid month end, right? Month end, month end, right? So when are they going to spend their money, right? Most people, they want to spend when they are still having the money, right? You don't want to spend the money when you are now gliding, right? You are now gliding. You want to spend the money when you still have the money. You have to make your list of the priorities. So you need to know when they spend the money, so that when they spend the money, you have stock, right? You need to have stock when these guys have the money, right? When these guys have the money. Because it doesn't make sense that you are out of stock when these guys have the money and you are in stock when these guys don't have the money to spend, right? So you need to know their spending power. When they have the money, you have to have stock. You good on that one, right? Then how do they spend, right? Yes, they might have the money, $100 to spend, but what is it that they are going to start with, right? And what is it that they are going to end with, right? Yes, because in as much as, yes, they want some good tires or some good rims, right? But then the first major thing is the service kit. Service kit. Because they want to service their cars before the aesthetics. Though there are people who focus on this before that, right? But then most of the people, they will come for the service kit, right? And if they come for the service kit, if they come for the car seats and whatsoever, right? If that's how they're spending their money, then you need to learn how they are doing it, right? Then the reason why you also need to know how they are spending their money is you want to be able to predict what they are going to buy next. You get it. You want to be able to predict what they are going to buy next. So, because you want to predict what they are going to buy next, you now know what to put in stock. Because you might be focused on one project, but then these people are going to look for this, right, and that, or they're going to look for, or let's say, if you are focused on this project specifically, right, these people will be able to look for this and that, right? Or they will start by looking for this, that, before they look for this project in the middle. So they might start from this side before they get to this side, or they might start from this side before they get to this side. So you have to know when you are stocking that it's either you're going to prioritize this so that they buy this, which is your main project here, your main project. Right. So if you have your main product here and this is some of the things that they buy, maybe at the end of after buying the main product, they buy these things, or after buying these things, they then buy the main product. Your main product should be in stock, but you still need these things so that they can buy this, right? Because you might lose clients by not having these other products. It's like a shop, a retail shop, right? A grocery store. Yeah, right. A grocery store. If a grocery store doesn't have bread, right, you are guaranteed that they are going to lose a lot of customers by not having bread. Because so many people end up buying other things after they buy bread. Right? Bread helps you sell milk, sugar, tea, or coffee, right? Margarine, that's margarine, that's butter, jam, dory, and a lot of other things. By just having bread, you are able to sell these other things. Juice, right? Salt, eggs. By just having bread, you are able to sell this whole other components, right? But then if you don't have this component, you are guaranteed you might find it difficult to sell this, right? Yes, you might sell, but then it won't be the same. So you need to have this product, right? And you rarely make money from this bread. Maybe 10 cents profit, 10 cents. But then the compounding is very good. So you need to have almost every single type of bread so that you're able to buy these ones, right? Then I just spoke about the grocery, first grocery, the cooking oil. I left it, rice, I left a lot of things from this. So that's the main point why we need to know how do they spend, right? If someone comes, they want to focus on bread first, right? They want to focus on bread first, then they are going to buy all the other things. If they are going to focus on the service kit first, right? Let's say service kit first, right? Then they are going to focus on the other things later on. You still need to stock those things, even if you don't make money from those things. And for some reason, don't try to make money from those things. Because you still push people away. So you need those products that are like free things, right? Then you make your money from one product. These other things, right, they help you get clients, right? Then you make your money from this product. You get what I'm saying, right? These three things, they help you get clients, then you make your money from this one product. You don't try to maximize on the bread. Don't. Because the bread should invite people. This one is more of your invitation letters, right? The free stuff, right? Invitation letters. Then there are businesses that actually try to make money from bread, right? Leave that to them. Leave that to them. You are not going to make money from the bread. You're just going to put it in place so that when these guys come, they buy your main product, right? That you want to. Then which season do they buy? This is because they are seasonal products. Then there are products that are needed almost on a regular basis, right? How often do they spend? That's another thing, right? How often are they going to spend on this thing? The reason why you need to know how often are they going to spend is you want to be able to predict your cash flows. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to be having your own January disease or in June, right? You don't want to have January disease in June. January disease just means that there's lack of money in your pocket, right? Yeah, that's for most of the time. That will be January disease. So you don't want to have January disease at the midst of the year, right? Yeah, you don't want to have January disease in August, right? Because you could not be able to predict, right? Ish, very sorry. Yeah. Because you were not able to predict. You should be able to predict that in this month I'll be able to make money. Then you stock, right? Because you only make money after sales, right? You need to have sales to be able to make money. But then you can't make sales without stock. You get it? So you need stock. So you should be able to predict that if these guys are going to be buying with this season, that season, that season, that season, then I'll be able to make money. So you realize that the people that they say there's that saying that if if you don't plan, if you don't plan, you plan to fail, right? You plan to fail. I think that's just me paraphrasing this, but that's this saying, right? So if you can't predict how things are going to turn out, right? You are just predicting that you are going to fail, right? Of which you can't be in business to fail. That's not it. That's not it. You shouldn't be in business to fail. So what are you going to do so that you don't fail? That's when you need this customer avatar, right? Now, on the part of service, right? The reason why I gave you all those other questions on what do they care about, when do they buy, and all this, right? That's where I was addressing this issue about saving, right? Because remember, you are in business to help people, or to save people, right? You're in business to help people or to serve people, right? That's why you're in business. Yes, I know you need to make money, but then you're in business to help people or serve people. That's it. If you think you're in business to make money, you are going to focus much on the money and you will never make the money. Right? But if you focus on this top priority, this one, helping people or saving people, you know what is inevitable? You're still going to make money because you become invaluable to the marketplace. And by virtue that you are invaluable to the marketplace, right? People are going to be needing you if you are helping them or you are saving them. They will be there because remember, this is one of the competitive edges that you have, or the business modes that you have. Business modes, right? That you have. Why do I say this? Right? Remember, there are not a lot of people who are willing to help people or to save people. Everyone is selfish. and they're looking for money. They're focusing on the money. So you realize that their pricing strategy is on how they can make $1 million. $1 million. It's not on how they can save 1 million people. It's on how they can make $1 million, right? That's their pricing strategy, right? That's how they're charging. It's all about how they can make more money. So they end up losing a lot. But the people that actually save people, they end up making money. Look into any billionaire, any millionaire, they will tell you that they were helping people and saving people. That's why they tell you that if you want to make a lot of money, solve a problem. Solve a problem. So the problem becomes that you want to solve a problem, but then you are looking for the problem and you're not finding one. When in essence, it's as simple as just find someone who you can save and you still make money. Find that one person you can save. They have each and every one person, right? They have so many needs that need to be addressed. Right? It can be a matter of relationship. It can be a matter of relationships or marriage, right? It can be a matter of money, parenting, children, parenting and children, right? Bosses, right? Their dressing, their health. Like, people have problems, man. They have problems. So they will be telling you, find a problem that you can solve. And you are confused because you're looking to the society and you're like, which problem can I solve? When you have people, whenever you're looking at a person, there's a problem that needs to be solved. There is a problem that needs to be solved. It's just up to you whether you are going to be keen to know which problem to solve, right? If you look into me, there's a problem that needs to be solved. And sometimes, you know what you need to do, right? There's a Shona saying that says, "Vakangwara avana namo," right? It says, "Vakangwara avana namo." So it's more of, it translates to English, right? More of the wise, they don't have poverty. More of those, they don't have problems. But Namo can translate to problems or poverty, right? Right. So it can translate to problems. So if you are wise, you don't have poverty or you don't have problems. So what do you do now that you are a wise person, right? You look at a person, right? Then you go down on that person. Then you try to help them see which problems. Help them see which problems they have. Right? Because if you help someone see that they have a problem, right? It's like someone who doesn't see that maybe their jaw, this jaw is like, ah, right? You help them see. Do you know that this jaw is not in its right position? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to help you put it back in its right position. Then they'll say, okay, why do you want to do that? Then you say, that's a normal person, right? But then because you have helped them see, you have done the first thing, which is saving, right? Or helping, which I've told you, right? Then you say, okay, how do I make money from that one? Then you say, I'll then teach you that you don't really need to make money from the first person. The first 1 to 2, 10 people, there's no need for you to make money from them. And I think Alex almost said the same thing. You don't really need to make money from the first 1 to 10 people. You know why? Because the first 1 to 10 people, they give you non-monetary benefits. Monetary benefits, right? And they also give you experience. Experience. They also give you a POC, proof of concept, right? And they also give you credibility. Credibility that you're able to do it, right? You're able to do it, right? So You say, I will then give you this thing for free. So you then give them an offer that is irresistible. Irresistible. I don't know what the spelling is, right? You give them an offer that is irresistible. Then when that offer is so irresistible, they are still going to come, right? Because they can't resist this offer that you have given them. So now you've learned sales. And as we'll talk about more about sales and stuff, right? But you've learned sales, so you have given them an offer that is so irresistible. Now you go and you say, okay, what am I going to do? This person, you fix their job, right? If they have a different type of clothing, you want to help them again. You try to help them see that they have a problem, then you fix it. When you fix that problem, you know what you do? You don't charge them. You don't charge them. Don't charge them. But then again, as I said, you get credibility, you get proof of concept, you get experience. You have done it. If you are good at it, you can now improve from that level, right? Because remember, you are only as good as you have done something. You will not say I'm good at something if you haven't done it practical. That would be theory. So now that you have used the Vakangwara Vananamu concept, which is the why is they don't have problems, right? What you then do, you then say, do you know another person? You do it for 1 to 10 people. These 1 to 10 people that have done it for free, right? This will be your proof of concept. And the rest of the people that will be coming, but these people will also give you testimonials. Testimonials, right? The rest of the people that will be coming, the other people will be seeing these ones, right? Sometimes, it's not 1 to 10. It might be even more. Because I did videos from February to November. Free videos. Up until people got to know about me, right? People had to know about me. Because if they didn't know about me, then there was no way I was going to crash it. Just hold on a moment. All right. Okay, good. So sorry, I messed up my camera. Right. From February to November, I was doing everything for free. Right. I would get 1 or 2 people to come to me, but then was doing everything for free because I was building my own brand. Right. When I was building that brand, then I got to have a point to get to a point where now I had demand for people. Demand for people. And people will be like, I want you to work with me. I want you to work with me. I've seen what you have done. I've seen what you've done. Because now I'd done the first thing. That's why I say that these things, they work, right? They work. If you do it, you then start to charge people from this point. Because if you now have demand, people will start to come in. Remember, you now have the proof of concept and people know that you are able to do it. You are not just a con artist, right? You do it, and you are now in business, right? That's why I said you help them identify the problem that they have. Even if they didn't know that they have a problem, you help them identify that one, right? So now you can charge depending on how the demand and supply, right? Yeah, you are maybe the one person that is able to do it, you're the supply, right? And you need to service a certain number of people per day. That's the demand. Then you start to charge from there. Then you start to go, right? Then let's say you are in some form of other business, beauty business, whatsoever, right? You still say, let me take someone, I'll put makeup or I'll do installation for free. You choose certain type of hair types, right? Then you do them for free. When you do them for free, you know what you then do? You then move on to the next. Then you say, if you have this type of hair, this is how it looks. So someone will be now saying, okay, if I have this type of a head, if I get it installed this one, this is how I will look. Then they will become your demand. Then boom, you're killing it, right? But for starters, you don't have to go again on a pricing model that wants to serve you only, right? You don't want to make $1 million from just a few clients, right? Remember, you are still starting, right? You're still starting up. So there's no point why you should be expecting $1 million, $1 million from 2 clients. From 2 clients. You haven't worked, you have no name out there, right? It's only after you have worked hard and you now have a big name, that you can still make $1 million from 2 clients. But as you're starting, you make $1 million from 1 million clients. From 1 million clients. Yeah, that's it. That's the honest truth. What am I saying? You are not going to save 1 million clients on one day. You save them over time. Over time. So, there's that YTD, yearly earnings, that they give you if you are earning from your salary. They will tell you that over the course of 1 year, you earned more than 200,000, right? But then you were earning maybe roughly, let's say 15K a month. So when you are told that you earn 200K, you're like, hi, I don't remember having 200K in my account. But you don't remember because you were earning 15K every single month. You get my point, right? So that's the same thing. You get 2 million, but you never remember the day that you made 1 million. But because you are saving 1 million people different days, one person, and one person over a period of time. That's how you got to $1 million. But then by the time you get to saving 1 million people, right, you have now so much credibility, right, that even the top guys, because there's that con, right? So where you are starting here, right? The people that you have money, this is the bottom, right? This is the top. So the people that have money, they are at the top. But for you to get to the top, you don't just say, whoa. But there are so many people who are here, right? Millions and millions of people, right? Better people, better connections, better strategies, better everything. So what do you do from the bottom going up to the top, right? From the bottom going up to the top, you serve the people at the bottom till they give you credibility, right? Credibility and POC, proof of concept, right? Then this makes you graduate to the next level, right? This level. Then you serve the people at this level till they give you credibility and proof of concept, right? Then you move again to the next level. Then you serve the people here, right? Then you move again to the next level. Then you serve people here. By the time you are serving people here, the referrals, right, will be helping you get to the top. Up until you are now serving the very few people that have the most money out there, right? I know that this seems easy on paper, but then this works for almost everyone. It's not like this one where you say, I'm just going to get from the bottom to the top. How do you get the connections? But there's no way you meet the top diplomats, right, of any country from this bottom. How did you meet them? Who connected you? Where were you? So that you could be able to meet them, right? Because you can't afford the hotels that they afford. You can't be in the places that they will be in. You can't go to the games that they go to. Even if you can go for once, you can't keep the consistency. That's why it's easy to save the people at the bottom. And when you have done it, you've gained some dollars, you get to the next level. That's the reason why you can't just graduate from grade 1, right, to upper 6. No, you can't just do it. You can't just do it. There are steps. Now, why have I told you about this now, right? There's a concept that I need you to be very familiar with, right? The concept of patience. Patience, right? I need you to know that it will take time. Yeah, no matter how much you want it to be quick, it will take time. For some reason, everything under the sun is being given time. It will take time. And if it means that you plant today and according to the nature, that thing takes 3 months, right? No matter how much you want it to take 2 days, it will still take its 3 months. So no matter how much you want to quickly make 1 million, right, it will still take a reasonable amount of time. And there's no millionaire who just had one deal, then they made it. unless they are lying to you. That's why you realize that a lot of people, they end up getting to certain points after some years. After some years. Because again, these are the facts. It will still take time. So whether you like it or not, you're not going to make $1 million within in your 20s. Yeah, most people are not going to make it. Aye. That's the honest truth. You're not going to make that $1 million in your 20s. Aye, yeah, they will lie to you, but that's the fact. If you do it, congratulations to you. You are 1 in 1 million. You are the top 1%. You're the top 1%. For the rest of us, you'll be normal. But if you do it right, if you follow the principles, you're still going to make $1 million and you'll still be a millionaire. And with that being said, let's now finish on something that I think I will then go on to the next videos to explain more about those things, right? Which is getting to build a name, right? By the virtue that you'll be saving a customer avatar, one customer avatar, right? You will have a business mode, right? A unique business mode. And because you have a unique business mode, you know what's going to happen? The word will spread. The word will spread. And sooner or later, people will know about you. People will know about you. And when they know about you, they will come. And when they come, that means dollars will be in your pocket. So, one of the things that you need to do is to be very good at building a name. Because if you don't have a name, you'll be doomed. I will leave you with this one, right? A good name is better than fortune. Better than fortunes. So what is one thing that is better than fortunes? That is better than money? It's a good name, right? Because a good name, trust me, will get you all the money that you want in the world. Even if it means getting to the top. What will get you to the top? Remember I was saying credibility and the proof of concept, right? Credibility. This means that you'll be working on your name. This name is what you will be opening these doors, getting you to this, getting into the up, and you get to the top, people. Then you'll be killing it. With that being said, guys, make sure that you use these principles and you win. And yeah, I'll be proud of you. Cheers. Bye-bye.